Patrick Hayes is here. You ready to talk C&D, Patrick? All right.
I'm not going to talk about transmission parts or tree stump. Is there, I thought I'd have my notes here. And presentation. Well, we're just going to run this off the cuff again. Here we go. Oh, but we do have blue button. Oh, there, with the tape on it. Okay, I'm Patrick Hayes in the city of Oakland. Thank you for having us here today. You're going to hear a lot of things today, lots of stats. I don't have any stats. You don't need to take notes. We're going to talk about theory, things that we've been doing, things we hope to do. So don't ask me about tons. Don't ask me about costs, because there are no costs to get this program going per se. So C&D, sorry? It's $16. And the next time you ask, you're buying lunch for everybody who's here. Non-exclusive franchise. So we wanted to roll through a handful of things, and David gave me a handful of questions to say, well, what about this, this, and that? Took some more questions from colleagues who work with me at the C&D working group sponsored by Stop Waste to say, well, what do you want to know? Because I look at these things all the time, and it's kind of hard to say, well, here's what I think you should know. So here's what you've asked to know about what we're doing. We start with a why, we start with a who's in, who's out, stakeholder engagement, level playing field, a very important topic, verification of facilities and documentation, and then some data analysis. What about progress? What progress are you making? So we're going to start with some why. And competition is really good. It helps keep a market level, except when, wait a minute, no. It helps keep costs down, except when there's collusion. Oakland is not a homogeneous market. It's a I said gargantuan, I meant to say giant. It's a big place with lots of diverse construction sites. Folks are doing things based on optimizing every single square foot of space on their construction site, and almost no construction sites are the same. Everybody's got limitations. So, as I note, methods and materials vary across the city. And one size does not fit all, because if Frank Zappa said it, it must be true. So, who is in and who is out? This is David Kruger's first question. Wanted to know who is in and out. And I couldn't help myself. This is not our caterer today. Who's in? Every service provider that wants to haul debris in Oakland from a construction and/or demolition site. Now there's a big umbrella. Every site that is subject, and that's a key word, subject to a building permit. That doesn't mean you necessarily got your building permit. You're subject to a permit, therefore you're subject to participate in the NEF. So that's, you know, it's a big giant umbrella, and that covers lots of projects. We're going to remodel the commercial kitchen here in this building, or we're going to tear this whole building down and build a 56-story apartment building. Both of those projects are covered. So that's why this market is so diverse. I don't like using that word. Somebody got a better word? Varied. Thank you very much, Todd. This includes demolition contractors, because they're hauling debris on behalf of their clients. They're hauling huge amounts of debris. So we want to know what's happening with that debris. We want to have an opportunity to influence where it goes. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. So who's out? There's a 3-part test for self-haul. If you generate it, if you load it in your own vehicles with your staff, employees, and it's a fixed-bodied vehicle. So I want to know, is this box in or is this out? In. Who said, okay, who said in and who said out? You know, I really can't see. This is in because It is not a fixed body vehicle. You don't get to haul your own debris in a debris box. Just because you own them, tough luck. So you're covered by the non-exclusive franchise. You have to participate if you're running something like this, because that's not a fixed body. This didn't work really well because I was supposed to play a video. If you were right, oh, look at that. So some of you were right, and then some of you were, next slide, wrong. This is for those of you who were incorrect. Oh, we missed it. That's funny. Don't worry. Oh, it's that one. Hit it. If you were incorrect in that statement.
Wrong. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
So we wanted to talk about stakeholder engagement. And stakeholder isn't somebody just holding a piece of meat. It's not vegans. He doesn't count. He's holding a steak, but that doesn't make any difference. So he's not a stakeholder. Who are stakeholders? Service providers, facility operators, and building professionals. Now, interestingly, some of those folks had multiple titles. So we did in-person interviews, surveys, input and analysis from all of those surveys. We made some adjustments and changes to how we were doing things based on input from those stakeholders. Cliche graphic, let's stop using an incandescent light bulb for a good idea. There's a new paradigm for you. Level playing field, excuse me. We notify builders, the generators, in writing in advance. They've got to comply with these standards. They check a little box on their recycling plan that they submit online with Green Halo. If they don't read it, that's not my problem. Well, it is my problem later if they weren't paying attention and didn't follow. But the point is, we're letting them know in advance they've got to take material to a designated facility, and they've got to use service providers that are on our approved list. We're pursuing some... Larger font, yes, user error there. We're pursuing violations, so right now, trying to keep this playing field level, we're relying on those folks out in the field. We don't have staff out in the field. This is a limitation of where we are at this point in time. We're still trying to get the program together. It's evolving, it's changing. This is something that's growing organically. But we're relying on the public and franchisees to report problems. We're reviewing submittals to confirm that material went to specific facilities, and if those tickets identify somebody other than a designated hauler, well then we go after them. And we send them a nice letter. But we're working on some enhanced field leveling. We're leveraging the contract compliance angle to pressure folks to fall in line with what they said they were going to do for those who are in the system, and then we're pursuing those who are outside of the system. Facility verification. So again, we notify builders in writing, you've got to use the right facility. We're checking all of those submittals. Right now we have almost 1,000 active projects, and they're submitting receipts as they go along, and when their project is finished, I've got to review all of those receipts to make sure they say what they say they said. Let's see, more field leveling. We're working towards utilizing RCI as a third-party certification for facilities that are handling mixed C&D materials, so we can eliminate some of the hassle on the part of staff to verify what's going on, and then we know we've got numbers that are confirmed by somebody other than staff going out and doing calculations. Anybody else working on RCI? Anybody? There's a few little hands raising. Okay, more of you need to be doing that, but that's a different story. Data mining, we're looking at compliance stats, tonnage stats, facility stats, revenue stats, and solutions. And what I think is going to wind up happening is we're going to be relying more and more on software for asking the questions and answering and doing our analytics rather than the, and this goes beyond just an Excel spreadsheet. So we're looking at something a little bit bigger, but that's coming. Maybe I'll report next year on that. We've developed web content, procedures, and protocols for staff. The idea was that we put things in place so that folks, if I wind up retiring, win the lottery, somebody else can come along, read through the protocols, understand how to pick up the pieces and keep moving forward. And I was talking about we were tailoring and shifting, and this is not tailor shifting. Okay, this is challenging work, and each of you know it. It's a lot like herding cats. So, are we done yet? Here, because 24, 23, that's the wrong one. One last piece for everybody. I hope you're taking a couple of seconds right now to formulate a question, because you've got a few seconds now. Are we ready? Click it. Oh, well, that's all right. No, wrong one. So, 3, 2, 1, done.
Patrick? Hello, this
I
is
can't.
right in front. So this is Elise from Stop Waste. I'm
Hi.
curious how the public knows to report a violation. How would they know a violation is happening, and how would they go about letting you know?
So they're insiders. When I say the public, I mean people who aren't city staff and are not necessarily service providers. It's a small field. We haven't done much to say, hey public, if you see something happening, let us know. Because with the number of construction projects we have going on, I'm concerned we'll have way too many false flags, and it's like, that's not really a problem. Coming soon, though.
Okay, thanks.
Wow, that was easy. Okay. Whoa, oh. Yes, we have franchise fees. $10 per load. Anybody? Wow. Okay. Why, there is a diversion requirement. Oh, you want to know what it is? I'm sorry. So, our ordinance, in writing, statutorily, it says you've got to recycle 50% of the debris generated from the job site. Administratively, in 2007, we said 100% of asphalt and concrete and 65% of everything else must be diverted from landfill. And that's been included in the contract, in the agreements, service agreements with each of the non-exclusive franchise haulers. So they know, and they've got language that says you must support your customers in achieving their goals, and then it outlines what those standards are. So they know they're supposed to do that. We have one right now that has consistently failed to do that, and it's creating a headache for me. Yes? No. Their question was, do applicants pay a deposit for their recycling plan? No. Former Governor Brown, former Mayor Brown, was very emphatic in 1998 when he said no fees, no deposits. We don't want to scare any business out of Oakland. That may be revisited at some point soon. Oh, into other towns. Thank you.